So, now with that over and done with, now it is time for,
Now is the time on Sprockets when we dance.
unfortunately, yes, indeed it is. So, we're obviously going to need to set up a few new videos here.
Well, Windows.
Well, this starting.
And a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Doing a little this and doing a little that. Alright. But yes,
Second, that game has the song in my head, and I cannot sing it because I forget the words.
I don't remember them anyway. But in any case, we have Under the Sparkling Sea. Of course, if anybody here wants to join me in talking about it or making comments on the imagery and stuff, I do have. I've supplied you guys with a PDF link in our notes.
I have it up, and I am ready, boss.
Alright.
Damn it. No. Fuck. No, I don't want to leave that site.
No!
God damn it.
Anyway.
Stupid thing. And then I went the wrong thing in the Discord. Damn it.
Alright. I probably should have fixed.
Luck at the moment.
Okay. Let's see.
CC says chat is too small.
Hold on. I will fix that in a moment. I'm just gonna go with this. It's not a
My
great.
spoon is too big.
Wait, there's a...
Oh my god.
Wait, there was a thing for... Let me look here again. Oh, there it is. Sorry, I clicked on the show notes. I thought they were there.
No, I don't put them in the show notes for obvious reasons. I want to encourage people, buy the stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now I have it up, and now to proceed to go play a match of Rumble.
That sounds about right.
TechMan chat looks about normal to me.
Alright, in any case, let's go ahead and get started here. But yes, this is Under the Sparkling Sea by Mary Jane Begin. Now, the one big thing about this is the artistic style, which I do want to point out right off the bat because it's literally staring you right in the face.
I swear it feels so much like Lisa Frank. It's not even funny.
I know, he said it had a mix of Lisa Frank to it, which I'm not denying. And before we start, of course, we are also going to be commenting on the other thing, a nice bottle of Crystal Pepsi.
You got Crystal Pepsi, I have tea.
Okay, so
okay,
I can zoom this in a little bit. So we are going to zoom it in a little bit more than half page. So, of course, I will be reading a little bit of the book, commenting on things, etc., so on and so forth. Starting off with just the fact Twilight there is the one thing that bugs me the most on the cover there. I mean, what is she doing? She's trying to do push-ups.
Ready to run a marathon or get spiked because he seems to be floating away with a bubble on his head.
No, I think she's doing she might be trying to get spike, or she might be doing push-ups.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's trying to build up those pony muscles there. Of course, we also have the cover imagery, lots of different fish and fish-like accessories. We'll definitely be getting to those. Blue page, Under the Sparkling Sea. In case you couldn't tell after the first few images. And yeah, dedicated to all the people. We love them. And of course, starting off with a special invitation. Well, let's go ahead and actually move to the image here. Special invitation arrives at Golden Oak Library in Ponyville. It's here! It's finally here! Cried Twilight Sparkle. She opened the shimmering envelope. She began reading the invitation out loud to Spike, a young dragon who was her first assistant at the library. Then that begs the question, did she have a second assistant or a third?
Amalicious.
Amalicious, right, of course, yes. Why didn't I even bring up that stupidity?
It's called you're a little on the tired side.
Alright. Okay, so, yes, she receives a letter. Not from Princess Celestia, whom we all would believe would be the case, but no, in this case, it is from the illustrious King Leo, ruler of Equestria.
Damn it! Ah! Fucking shit! No! Fuck!
Wow, that was the most interesting reaction to.
Ain't that bad to a pun.
It just sounded like, oh my god, now he's on fire.
Not to Equestria. No! Oh, it hurts. Okay, of course Spike brings up the obvious. Isn't it Equestria, underwater? Twilight starts to look like her eyes are made out of almonds. I will admit right off the bat, the art style is definitely interesting. It has a taste of its own, but the eyes really freak me out on this whole thing. I don't know why. Just there's a weird detail to them. Spike, and also Spike with the scales. That is really an interesting look to it, but it looks more like he's covered in bubbles or stones and scales. So what does Twilight do? She decides she's going to go to Equestria. And so she wants to bring her friends along too. So she immediately gathers her friends and then casts a spell to give them all gills. And so they can breathe underwater, and fins so they can swim better. Of course, this is the only time you see her friends, which obviously start sporting gills and fins. Of course, the fins being nothing more than little adaptations to their feet, and the gills being along their neck looking like some kind of crazy necklace. Of course, the funny thing is Rainbow Dash's wings almost look like they're made out of cellophane. Now, yep, so each one of them has their own comments in regards to doing this. Most of them, of course, complaining. Pinkie Pie only wanting to party, and Fluttershy just wants to see the different critters. Then Twilight Sparkle insisted to them that they should go on with her to the grandest adventure, because none of them agreed until after she transformed them into fish freaks. Then immediately afterwards, she starts talking to Spike. Unfortunately, unable to transform him into a pony fish, she decides to give him a fishbowl. He starts saying, "No, no way, no how. I'm not coming along," and then immediately sticks his head into said fishbowl. I'm not kidding.
Wow.
The story says, as quote, Spike shook his head. No way. Twilight stuck it on his head with a quick plunk. So, no arguments. So, apparently Twilight Master, there's a Freudian slip. Twilight Sparkle! Twilight Sparkle is a taskmaster. Master. I think I need more Pepsi.
Obey your master. Ah, shit. What the hell am I doing?
What do you think I'm asking myself here?
No, I literally thought I was jumping up onto something, and it turns out I was just jumping into a tree.
But yes, Twilight Sparkle.
Oh, Destiny!
Twilight Sparkle is a taskmaster, as well as forces her friends to go on crazy adventures after the fact. So, yeah, that's an interesting portrait to paint of Twilight. Admittedly, the eyes do look a little better here, so I think it was just that one image back there where it just freaked me the hell out. Of course, getting back to that, actually, the one thing I did notice here is Twilight's the only one that has that weird eye crevice thing that's going on with her. Rarity, a little bit, but not too bad. Applejack looks pretty normal. So does Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy. Only Twilight has that weird thing going on with her eyes. Okay, so anyway, yep. So anybody want to give any thoughts to this so far as we're going?
Other than the fact that Twilight's being controlling and acting like no one has a total choice.
And in all honesty, the art style is good. I'm not going to deny that. There is a lot of work that went into this art style, and it does show. Right? I don't know if you can actually see it on the stream here. It might be a little difficult, but you can even tell that there's texture to the fur. The Twilight Sparkle, you can actually see the unicorn fur on her, and it actually has a very fine bristling to it.
Well, the artwork is awesome. I'll definitely say that, but I mean...
But yeah,
I think most of this was hand painted as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very sure that this was either hand painted or it was digitally created, but to look hand painted. Either case, this does indicate a lot of work to it. So now they set off on hoof and wing to the nearest sparkling seaport, where they climb upon a manta hawk, set by King Leo. And no, that is not me mixing up words again. It is a manta ray that is also a hawk.
Huh.
That's bullshit.
That is not the most bullshit thing there is.
No, in all honesty,
Because there is a transformer that turns in from a manta ray into an eagle. At least this is sticking to both. So this is not bullshit.
No, I'm just. That's
yeah.
just the whole thing where it's just. I'm just. Apparently, Destiny is just finding ways to have perfect timing with this.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually loving this. Please know if you're watching this on archive and haven't been paying attention for the last hour. Right now, Suki and Blinked are actually playing Destiny a little bit while they're participating in the show here. So some of their reactions are not part of the story, but actually part of the crap that they're dealing with. However, it doesn't ruin the fact that it's arduously, hilariously timed. So yes, they get to see the Manta Hawk, and this is not the craziest thing, believe me. And they go into Equestria. Of course, they are greeted by two sea ponies in front of a seashell. Two sea ponies in front of a seashell, known as Coral and Arrow. Coral obviously being the girl, Arrow being the boy, Spike obviously floating away, hopefully never to be seen again. Well, we all wish.
Hey, I like Spike.
You're the only one.
Damn.
But yes, these are sea ponies. Of course, they do look a little bit like the sea ponies that we saw in the original movie, though they do have their own design. And the one thing I do have to point out here is, again, the artistic design. It is really interesting, other than the fact that Applejack has the double hair bow thing going on there, the double pigtails. So, yeah. And of course, on the other side of the page is the seashell, which it is actually incredibly well designed, but you do lose something in the fact that you can only see one page at a time on this. In all honesty, this is really a case where the book is much better than a PDF.
Because it was a continuous piece of art as opposed to that is...
Yeah, each page is a continuous piece of art going from one to the next, so it really... Well, most of them are, so it really is interesting to see them kind of working together.
Bitch!
Well, I'm sorry, but that's the way it...
We didn't even do anything yet, and he's already kissing the book.
That asshole made me waste my super.
Alright, so, King Leo the Fish-Hearted. Welcome, friend. Welcome, friends, said King Leo warmly. You will stay with us here at Nautilus Hall as my honored guests. The hall sparkled so brightly with sea crystals, spiraling shells, and shimmering lights that Rarity looked ready to faint. It's fabulous! Those lights are moving, cried Pinkie Pie. Those are jellyflies, explained Arrow, shortly combining two different creatures at once in this entire book, just eroding any sense we have of evolution.
By the way, this is an add-on from the director's cut. This is the actual print.
But yes, the jellyflies, which are a combination jellyfish and butterfly, and you can see it right there perched on Fluttershy's nose.
Don't let it see you.
But I will give them credit. You know what? In all honesty, you can kind of see where they were going with this whole book with just the idea of sea pony. You are literally taking ponies and horses, mixing them together, and then they're taking other sea creatures and mixing them together.
Then again, these are more like seahorses with horse-like features.
Well, yes, but now let's talk about a different seahorse, the mermares.
So, also,
Mermare.
Brony, it is called My Little Pony Under the Sparkling Sea.
Yes, this is Under the Sparkling Sea. I really should have put an annotation here down at the bottom.
And something else
Ooh,
that
what do I get?
many of you may be interested in, if you guys have like Android phones or anything like that, on Google Play they have it for $9.99. So if you guys are interested and got any Google Play cards on you, so you can use those.
Amazon, Google Play. This book is everywhere. You can find it at Barnes & Noble, for crying out loud. And it is, in all honesty, even though it's a children's book, the art style is... Yeah, actually, we'll get to that. We don't want to delve
Yeah.
too much into the end review here if we're already halfway through the book.
Right.
So, they meet upon their
and
first...
boss, I found the thing that I was talking about. It's in backstage. It's related to this.
Alright, well, we'll get to that here in a moment as well. But Mermare, yep. So, Electra. They meet Electra the Mermare.
She
Obviously,
does that, and Daredevil has to avenge her.
What?
I don't know, he broke out
Sorry,
halfway
he turned
through.
into a robot again. He went full techno.
Yep.
Basically,
Not full retard. Full techno.
I hope she doesn't die, because then Daredevil has to kill somebody.
Actually, let's just hope that they don't try to come off with another movie based on her alone that ends up flopping royally.
Oh god, the movie.
True.
Moving on. So Rainbow Dash goes to greet Electra, the mermare. Sorry, I'm having a horrible time with that word for some reason. And and the mermare swims away, apparently being very shy. Though, kind of the angry tsundere shy, not the, oh, I'm Fluttershy shy. So,
we need another Fluttershy shy. She's in the book already.
so the ponies decide to go and explore Equestria. Of course, Rainbow Dash does what she does best, racing, joining Coral at the Nautilus stables. And here's where things get silly. Applejack helps with the harvest of new seaweed at the Oceanic Farm. I almost said organic. Oceanic.
Hey, look! The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles exist in here.
No, they're the Teenage Mutant Ninja Farmers. No, Teenage Mutant Farming Turtles. Teenage Mutant Farming Turtles. Heroes with a pitchfork. Salad power.
Oh god. Fucking hell.
So, Pinkie Pie obviously goes to learn how to help make delicious treats with the different chefs. This one looking an awful lot like an RPG character. Seriously, I swear I've seen a character like that before somewhere.
Oh, hey, it's a Murloc! Hi, Murloc!
Oh, there we go. You got it. Murloc. We'll go with that. Murloc from World of Warcraft. Now we move on. Rarities takes a look at incredibly extravagant designs that would in no way work underwater. Seriously, what is this? I don't know. Just that whole mane and everything there, and just I don't know. Ugh. The ceremonial costumes, but wow. Man, moving right along.
I couldn't tell you.
And since Fluttershy and Twilight Sparkle don't have anything better to do, they go to the seagrass forest and swim in the dense sea along with Spike. Because he doesn't have anything better to do either. And of course, the reason they do so is because they want to meet, they end up, well, first we'll show off this image. We see Spike scared to death in his fishbowl, and of course our illustrious ponies, and they come across a narwhal.
Swimming in the ocean.
Or we would like to say it's a narwhal, but no. This is a giant creature called Narwhally.
Wally.
Now, it's supposed to be a narwhal, but I'm very sure it's a narwhal combination with something, but I don't know what. I don't know what it's supposed to be combined with.
To be perfectly honest, it's basically a narwhal with cow spots. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they're taking that whole sea cow thing a little too far with it.
Maybe. What really
Okay.
interests me, though, is the fish otter, which Y, and I want to say, the cat-like creature on the shell.
Alright, so yes, he explains what these are. He says he's Narwhally. He was just playing with the little fellas, pointing out to a crabbit, a water weasel, foxfin, and star mice. These sounds like either bands or 1990s cartoon shows that did not get off. Ta-dum. So they ask Norwally, please join us over at the race. He says, no, I'm too shy, and my horn is silly, and I'm fat, and I'm ugly, and fat, and my horn is still silly.
Wow.
And Spike says, hey, I have to wear a fishbowl. You can deal with this. And they promise to tell him all about the land. They promise to basically make a new Little Mermaid out of Narwhali by telling him all about the land up above. So he'll have dreams of going up there one day, having to face King Leo and win the trident, and let's... Moving on, so yeah, they convince him.
Up there, up where the skies are ocean.
No, you gotta remember, this is a basically an equivalent narwhal sea cow thing. Up there, up where the sun
Please
shines.
do it over the rainbow so they can.
I'm not trying to.
Songs of Kansas.
I'm trying so hard not to suddenly do Over the Rainbow. I am really trying. I can't remember the damn songs from Little Mermaid. I've actually blocked them from memory. I finally accomplished my 10-year goal. Right in the middle.
Welcome. They're actually fun. Don't you want to kiss your gal?
Damn it! Now I got that one in my head.
God.
Yay!
No, it's not kiss the girl. It's kiss the well. Come on then, kiss the well. It's a normal kiss the well. Okay, moving on.
Oh my gosh.
Kiss the well. Look at Peter. Okay. So they go over to the track to watch the race. Of course, the race is a relay race between the sea ponies and their mermares. Of course, everybody's getting excited, and the big thing is that this race is going to be done differently. They're going into a dangerous area called Kravitz Canyon with craggy rocks and whirlpools. That sounds like a brilliant idea, don't you think? And no practice.
How the hell bubbles back in the water, but then I realized, oh, it's just like tornadoes here on land.
No, even better. No practice, nothing at all. They have never swam this before, and now they're going to have them do a big relay race that everybody is watching.
This
That's
could only end
smart.
in tears.
Yeah, doesn't it sound so smart? So, yep, they got their relay races. You obviously could see them. See the sea ponies and the mermares getting ready to swim with their respective flags. And of course, the sea ponies, for some reason, their flag looks a little silly. And of course,
Well, let's see. They have a orange and blue with a yellow and blue stripes. It seems to fit, especially who's carrying it.
and of course, along with that, it looks like the referee is apparently an eel. I'm trying to make a joke. I really am. It's failing. I'm moving on. So, tragedy strikes. One of the sea pony, Arrow the sea pony, has an unfortunate incident which clips his fin. Which I will give him a little bit of credit. You can actually see that little detail there, and that his fin got damaged and can no longer swim properly, and starts getting pulled into a big whirlpool. So Sea Cow comes in, saves him.
All hail the mighty sea cow. He is the savior.
All hail Sea Cow. He has saved one of us. Praise his mighty horn that you may grasp and hold on tightly. Never let go of the Sea Cow horn. I'm going to keep moving on before this gets... Yeah, this is going to get real bad if I keep it going. Moving on! So, obviously,
Blank.
Arrow can no longer swim because of his injury, and Rainbow Dash decides, hey, I know how to race in air. I can do it underwater as well. And, of course, Mermare is immediately saying, no! No, you can't do that. I don't like it. It's unnatural and weird. I'm voting for Trump. Actually, no, that was terrible. Never mind.
God.
Somebody edit that, please. I could have done so much better.
Edit that out.
No, no,
Go back and make it so that there's a Trump pony on screen.
no. I'm
Oh
voting
my
for.
God.
I'm voting for Sea Cucumber. No, I'm voting for Patrick.
Oh my god.
Okay, we'll go with that. Yeah. Okay, moving on. So, yep. So, they say there isn't a rule that says that Rainbow Dash can't do it. So King Leo immediately brings up the official rulebook and immediately decrees Rainbow Dash can race. Literally coming up with a decree right at the spot, Rainbow Dash can race. So now there will be a law in 200 years from now. People will look at the law books and wonder, why in the world is there a law that says Rainbow Dash can race?
Who the fuck is Rainbow Dash?
Yeah, exactly. And of course, we can actually see a little image right there of King Leo literally decreeing it as we speak. Let's see. Awesome Brony, how do I come up with all this stuff? Sleep deprivation, working silly for people that drive me absolutely nuts, and then just letting myself go for a while. It'll do
And
it.
have Peanut Gallery to bounce off ideas from.
The peanut gallery helps a lot. I always love talking with my peanut gallery here. How are the peanuts
Love
gallery?
you too, Peanut Boss.
Alright. So, Peanut Boss, moving on. So, Narwhal says, you know what,
Good
Rainbow
grief.
Dash? We want to help you, Rainbow Dash. So, let us give you advice. And now we get to see the interesting critters up close. Starting off with, you can shape your tail like the fox fin. Put your wings forward like Jellyfly. And, of course, we also see the main six helping out because why not? Use your
I say why
hooves
not.
like a crabbit's claw. Twist your mane into a horn, and Rarity officially has a new design.
Wow.
Rarity is not the sea witch, we can assure you of this. And, of course,
Are you sure?
and here's the last one, which I admit is kind of hilarious. And have some of Pinkie Pie's super salty, sweet seaweed snacks that you'll definitely go faster. Not sure how fast, but faster, because you ate these snacks right in the middle. Well, not in the middle, right before a race. Because literally, right after he comes up with all these suggestions, it's time for the race. Yes, it makes perfect logical sense. So they are racing with narwhal horn. I'm just realizing something horrible here. Why in the world are they racing with narwhal horns that have obviously been taken off of the narwhals? Or are they
Actually,
unicorn horns?
No, I.
That doesn't
I
make
think
things any better.
This is actually just. These are shells. The way I can tell, well, they have a still going kill. Because there are shells that are that shape.
Are you sure they're shells? Because I kind of like the
Yes.
idea that they're actually a bunch of barbaric creatures down under the sea, and they just only vaguely hinted at it.
Let's see. Wait, where are we at again?
Well, it's pretty much in
page 35.
it's page 35, but it's on every single page of the race, really.
Page 30. Okay. It's not, wait, the page where Rainbow Dash and the other thing have a
Yeah.
horn in their mouths?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you see, horn. He even said horn.
Well, that's the shape we're most common to, because what do unicorn horns look like?
Oh no, they're alicorn horns. They're
Oh my god.
they're single-handedly responsible for the destruction of the alicorn race, just because they really needed horns for a relay race. Okay, moving on. So yeah, just because we can make jokes about this forever. Rainbow Dash swam faster and faster throughout the twists and turns of the cave. Without warning, rocks suddenly drop. Big surprise. Now, of course, Rainbow Dash manages to avoid them, but she looks around, seeing that Electra is no longer tailing her, or with her, or anything like that. Taking a look around, she sees that Electra has been pinned underneath a rock. So, now Electra ultimately has to answer the supreme question, what are you going to do when the rock gets a hold of you?
I'm gonna
Oh my
frail
God.
and hope to God I'm basically a kind-hearted person, otherwise I'm dead. And the Daredevil will have to avenge me.
Oh no, Vaguely got a better one. Apparently, Electra got rocked like a hurricane.
Oh my god.
Vaguely for 2016.
Vaguely for 2016, he has won. All right. So yes, Rainbow Dash realizes that yeah, she's in trouble. She must help her. We get a good chance of looking more at that fur texture. Seriously, that is the one thing that is I am shocked at how well textured that is.
Awesome.
Yeah, that
Backstage, Chad has page 35, event 34, being made, so we can show that.
well, we'll definitely look at that in just a moment here. We're just on the last little bits of the book, of course. So they're waiting outside the tunnel, wondering what's going on. They're not coming out. Is something wrong? And instead of actually going in there and figuring it out, they wait until they start swimming out hand in hand. King Leo crying, "It's a tie! Now we must unfortunately fight we must fight one another to deem who is more superior, because these races were actually meant to try to circumvent war, and you've ruined them all. Congratulations."
Such it, it's Fin and Hoof. Not hand in hand. Fin and Hoof.
Thank you, Hana. We love you.
Okay, Finn and Hoof. And that will excuse the fact that there is now an oceanic civil war about to happen.
Why?
Okay. But yes, they swim out together, Finn and Hoof, and they officially get declared a tie by King Leo. And of course, there's a big award ceremony because they can. Can I help you? Why am I afraid for my life? I have an open bottle. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, I think I finally set up blanked a little bit. Okay, so yes, at the award ceremony that followed, Rainbow Dash and Narwhali were giving badges of honor for their bravery and kindness. Fluttershy was so proud of her old and new friends. Spike was proud too, and he got so excited that he bounced too hard and floated away. I'm just gonna ignore the nearly part that's there. He floated away. You no longer have to deal with Spike again. Then,
But that means we don't get a changeling and an awesome dragon episode.
okay, well, let's go ahead and get over here. Actually, this will be a little bit easier because the whole party is actually one big image that's right after the text. So Pinkie Pie brought out a giant pink kelp cake. No, oh wow, it was pink. I thought I accidentally misread that. Okay then. Well, Verity oohed and awed at the various crazy fashions that she was wearing. She looks like a knockoff of Wonder Woman with that for some reason. I don't get that. Wonder Celestia. No, Wonder Rarity. Wonder Tea.
Oh lord.
No, it's
Yeah.
Wondermare. Wondermare!
You got me. We'll go with that. And also, Applejack is also nomming on a bunch of seaweed. Apparently being completely converted from apples to seaweed. She would later be known as Seaweed Jack. She would forever farm from the shores. Yeah, moving on. So, yep. And everybody, let's see, and except me. So apparently now everybody also gets a special prize that's giving to quote-unquote the mermaids and the sea ponies called the Purple Pearl. So yeah, apparently that's being given to everyone. I have no idea what that is because it's not shown anywhere. We'll just use our imaginations. And finally, wrapping up the book, we get a letter from Twilight Sparkle that is somehow being written underwater by Spike on what looks like a glass sheet. Dear Princess Aquastria.
Austria.
Jeez, I was saying it so well all the whole time. Quastria is unlike any other place I've been to, but the friends I made here are a lot like us, and I learned an important lesson about friendship today. Sometimes helping a friend is more important than proving you're the best. We won the race together and found out that new friends are the best prize ever. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. And unfortunately, the moral pretty much is about as cut and dry as a children's book, which, yes, it is a children's book. I'm not that surprised.
Yeah.
And thus we have Under the Sparkling Sea, as soon as I can quickly scroll this.
Under the sparkling sea.
Under the sea, sparkling with
Nothing
glee.
is better That
We
went
got
with it.
narcotics everywhere here. We don't. Okay, so yeah, we do got.
Where's the beer?
Yeah, there is actually a video of behind the scenes. Quickly grabbing. There we go. No, that's not it.
And going to SyncTube to watch it.
No, I'm just playing this here real fast. Well, let's go ahead and talk what you guys thought about the book.
The art was definitely awesome. I will give it that.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wait. Okay. Here's a little tidbit of information about the book here. One painting in this book, created with watercolor, colored pencil, and pastel on Canson pastel paper, took 7 days to complete, working 8 hours a day. So essentially, this took an entire work week to accomplish.
Yeah. Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
So yeah, this was actually hand-drawn stuff. So I really do admire the intense detail they put into this.
Yeah, that is super awesome and amazing.
Yep. So
I wish.
that definitely
I
explains
wish
the
I could be that good.
practice
And
and
they
practice.
actually did use, like for Rainbow Dash, as you see in the video, they actually did use a snow model.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in any case, while we're talking about that, what did you guys think? So getting back to that.
The only thing I would honestly say that was good about this is the art, because the story is just a simple thing of introduce all the characters, and it got repetitive. They do something repetitive for each character. Rainbow Dash wins the way, ties for the race with the other character, and then just celebrate, because yay, we all won and we're all special.
No, it is a kids book. I hate to say it, but kids books don't exactly challenge a whole lot. But in this case, it really is a book that you actually just read to your kid, and you actually look at the imagery. It's not. I don't exactly see it as something that the kid would read on their own, at least not often.
Yeah, it has what some fiction writers call the said problem, where almost every other line is said.
Well, let's.
It's a kid's book, though. What do you?
Well, it is a kid's book. We'll give it some credit that
It-
the
it's a
writing
good book.
the writing may have not exactly been Aristotle or freaking Tolstoy, but the music.
The artwork.
The artwork was incredible, and that really is the big selling point of this book.
Yeah.
So yeah, the book itself, the book artwork, incredible, really good. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I got a physical copy of this, especially since I actually have a poster that actually has a couple of the scenes fully drawn out. Though granted, I'm probably going to end up having to get this covered or laminated or something if I ever want to actually put it out, because it's a poster. What are you gonna do?
And CMC got you right there, boss. The music of the book was the best.
Yeah. The only music that was in this book is the music I sang just for giggles.
Yep.
For Skiggles.
For giggles.
Skiggles.
Skiggles. Yes.
Skittles!
So, all right. Anybody want to add anything else in regards to this book here before we just do some final wrap-ups?
I'm gonna make some grilled cheese.
Anything in regards to the book?
I might use the book pages for bread. We'll find out.
Oh my gosh. Oh god, Blink.
I am shocked and appalled.
Wait. Your name is Paul? I thought your name was Josh.
Moving on. Okay, so unfortunately I got lost there. So yeah, Under the Sparkling Sea, and quickly switching things over here a little bit and rerouting. You can find this pretty much everywhere. It's in every single bookstore, Amazon, eBay, anywhere and everywhere that you would be able to buy a book. You can buy a hardcover version for probably about $15, or you can get it digitally for about $10, whether App Store, Kindle, or otherwise. So
Yep.
I honestly recommend buying the physical book. I mean, yeah, the digital phones are good. Kindles are pretty decent, and our cell phones have gotten ridiculously good with high def, but there's just something about actually seeing it physically that I don't think you're going to be able to replicate with the phone.
Yeah,
That's
and plus,
true.
it's one
That's
panel
true.
versus seeing a full page spread.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, you saw that artwork on the speed drawing of it. That was beautiful art. One continuous piece was so beautiful.
Yeah, in all honesty, this is something you really should get as a book if at all possible. If you can't, digital will work all right, but it is missing something if you don't have the book. And of course, there is one other book that has been recently created by this I'm not sure if it's this artist or another one. Okay, maybe it's not. Give me a quick second. It's like MLP Dragon's Island or something.
Just look at the new releases and MLP books.
Okay, here we go. I don't know why this was so difficult. Of course, yes, there is a newer book that came out just a week ago, The Dragons on Dazzle Island. Of course, this was also done by Mary Jane Begin, and will probably have the
Yeah.
same type of artistry. This book is a little bit cheaper, apparently, starting at $11.85, though it looks like it's got the normal suggested price, and does not appear to be on Kindle at the moment, or digital, so you can only get, well, actually, I stand corrected, because they got the Kindle edition on a separate page over here. So you can get it on either or, however you want, but yeah. But yeah, so if the book was tantalizing and you want to, if they want to know about anything else, there is others. There's only one other book right now because this came out a week ago, and we all saw how much work gets put into this stuff.
Which doesn't surprise me that it took about 3 years to get a new book of this style.
Yep. So, in any
Yep.
case, that is My Little Pony, the Under the Sparkling Sea. Eventually, we will do a review of the Dragons on Dazzle Island. However, that won't be for some time because we do like to spread these things out a little bit.